Awesome, thank you. All right, so my name is Trista Blosser, and I am the Digital Learning Specialist for Richland High School, Bechtel, North Richland Middle School Math and Science, and Smithfield Middle School. So this is HTML. It says it's advanced. I guess that kind of depends on the way that you look at it and what you know. I'm going to start kind of just a basic explaining what it is in case there's anybody in here that is here because they want to know what it is. And then there's going to be a lot of you just, he's over there. It's going to be a lot of just, hold on a second.
I understand that.
Sorry, working remotely in the office gives us some challenges.
I'm not going to kick you guys out. The waiting room, I'm gonna have them.
Okay, sorry about that. All right, so let's talk real quick. I'm going to share my screen. Let me find it. All right, so this is what we're going to be talking about is HTML. All right, so the first thing I'm going to talk about real quick is just kind of what it is. So I'm going to, where am I at here? Just do something really quickly. And I'm going to give you guys a link to this course. So that way we're going to do a lot of playing. I'm going to talk a little bit, but a lot of this is just copy paste as far as things that you can do. And I don't think you need me to walk you through that, but I'm just going to talk about a couple of things. So just real quick to talk about HTML is HTML is basically, it stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It's basically the computer language behind basic word processing. And I'm not an expert, so if I get something wrong, I apologize. But, all right, so when you're dealing with Canvas, you've got this content editor, rich content editor. So if I just start typing, right, I'm going to make this bold. All right, so this is just a regular, I can change the size. Right, so I do all this, and this is what you see. Now, there's something that's happening behind that, and that's what the HTML is. So anytime you're in this space, if you come down here, you have this little brackets, right? This is like a code symbol. So when I click this, I'm going to switch. So if you don't know anything about HTML, you can kind of make a guess about what's happening, right? So when I click back, I have a sentence that says, hello, my name is Trista Blosser. When I click this, right, this is what I just typed.
All right.
And then it's surrounded by this.
Now in our room,
and then I have a space. So you just can kind of see what it does. So I typed the word bold, and you see how it did strong. So that's the code that's in the back that's telling you how to change the text, right? So it's doing that for you. But I could go in and do it myself, right? If I wanted to make something bold, if I spell it right.
Somebody just typed in the chat that there are people in the waiting room.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
The waiting room's not on this session, so there's no one in the waiting room.
And I was trying to clear out room for you in the waiting room.
So you'll see now that I went ahead and did this myself.
I'm going to go ahead and click record.
And when I click up here, so now it made it bold. So you can do either way. Obviously, most people are going to type inside of here, right? Okay, so that's just kind of a brief example of what the HTML does. Is it's kind of building stuff in the background. And we're going to talk about something a little bit more, a little bit more interesting than that. Okay, I'm going to put a link in the chat and this is a public course. So what it's going to do is going to bring you to this course, and I'm going to go through a couple things, and then I'm just going to let you guys kind of play at that point. But let me go ahead and put this in the chat for you if I can find it. Sorry. Oops. All right, there's the link. That way you guys can get into the course, and let me know if you're not able to do so. Okay, but let's get started. So basically, these are resources that have been pulled from other people. I didn't create any of this. I just kind of pulled it in. And the way that it works is that it's just going to give you code, and then you're going to be able to put it in and create things that are going to look a lot cooler than what you could actually do just using Canvas itself. All right, so this first one is pills. So when I click on that, it brings me to this. So the way that the pages works, it tells you, so this is a pill, this is what it's going to look like. So if you're going to give an assignment to your students that says, you know, when you do this, it should take you approximately this long, however you wanted to do it. What you do is you take this code right here and you literally copy and paste it. And when you put that into your, into your HTML space, it'll create that for you. So if I go to pages, I'm just going to create a new one to show you. Right, now just a caveat, if I paste it here, oh, sorry, I guess I didn't copy that. I'm so sorry, hold on. All right, so I'm going to copy and paste that. All right, so if I copy and paste it here, it's not going to do anything because I'm not in the HTML. So you have to make sure that you're always going to this view over here. So all of this stuff will disappear, so you know that you're in it. And then when I paste that, and then hit save, right, then it creates that right here. And if I hit edit, it changes. You see how it changes the view? Because what I can do is I can change this specifically. And when I hit save, it changes it into that. Okay, so you kind of have to just go in and mess with it. And when you're doing it, I can add other things. So now I can start adding my content for my students, right? And you know, put in my images and things like that. And then when I save it, it looks like this. Okay. All right, let's go back. All right. So the next one is content headers.
Okay, really quick before you get into that, I've seen you do something that I still don't know how to do. I figured out how to make pages, but I don't know how to put my pages into the module.
Okay, so you have two options. You can build pages separately, or you can build them in the modules. So when you're in your modules.
Let's say, for example, maybe I've already built my pages separately.
Okay, so now if I want to add a page to this, I just click there, the plus button.
You're too fast. There's a delay. I have no idea what you're doing.
Sorry. Okay, when you're in your module.
Okay, I'm there.
You click the plus button.
Okay, I push that. And it does not look like yours.
I'm sorry?
It does not look, I see assignments and welcome letter, but that's just something I made today. I don't see my pages.
You might not have any pages selected.
Okay, wait, there they are. Okay.
Yep. And then if you've already created it, you can select it, or you can do a new page. and it'll put it at the bottom of the module.
Okay, I see it now. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. All right, so most of these, so if you go through content header,
I got you covered.
right, so this
Yeah,
is
no
what
problem.
you're going to be making here, and then it tells you here's the code, so you're going to copy and paste that, and then at the top of your page this is going to show up, right? So the one that I wanted to kind of show you, because all of these you guys can go through and copy and kind of experiment. But the one that I wanted to kind of show you really quickly was this one, the embedded Google folders. Right, so if you have a list of Google folders that maybe you want your students to see, it's telling you exactly how to do it. So here's the code here, right? But every time you open a folder, so if I'm in my Google Drive, and you see how when I open the folder, it comes up with the URL right here, right? So when you copy this code, you would replace right here, you put that folder ID, and then it is going to load up into here, and then your kids will be able to access those Google folders. A lot of people don't know that the folders have this sheet or this code right here. I'm trying to think, what else?
Quick question about that.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm fourth grade elementary. So before, I've been using Canvas for a while, and before Google was not able to, like if I had to copy my course, my Google stuff would not stay. It would just go away. So if we embed it, will it stay?
It should, yes.
So Google presentations and things like that, if we embed them, they should stay.
They should, yes.
Awesome, thank you.
I'm not 100% on that, but if it's the link is still good, then it should stay. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So my thought was that I just wanted to.
That is under shared
Sorry.
settings.
That I wanted to kind of just give you this information and not make the assumption that everybody knows about HTML. So I can answer some specific questions if you would like. But I kind of wanted to just give you guys the course and let you go in and play and then ask questions that you may have. So what are your thoughts on that? Or is there something specific you would like me to go over? Because like I said, this is a bunch of just copy and pasting and kind of experimenting on your end.
Can you show us how to change the responsive versus unresponsive HTML work for the, like if we put like one of those Bitmoji banners on there, but then it's not resizing on the page?
Yes. Okay. So this actually has got a great video that my friend made. But basically what you would do is, you got to give me a second so I can create one. If you look here, I'll just kind of show you, whenever you put in an image, if you give it an actual size, so like if the width is like 1,000 pixels, it's going to remain that. So you want to basically change the width over here to 100%, which means it's always going to take up 100% of the screen. So if your screen was 1,000 pixels, it takes up 100%, and then if you scroll it back to 50 pixels, it's still going to fill up 100% of the screen. Does that make sense? So let's try it.
Can they zoom in if they need to?
The students?
Yeah, on an image.
I mean, if their screen is able to be zoomed, yes.
Then yeah, okay.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to do a new page, and we'll try this. All right, so I'll show you something else just really quick. If I want to put in a picture, I'm going to just grab an image that I already have. Let's see. I don't think I have a banner. We'll just do this one. And I know your banners are a little bit different, but I just embedded one. So I'm going to save it to see what it looks like. All right. So when I go to edit, and since we're doing HTML, we want to look at what it looks like on the HTML side. So you see here, all it's saying is you have, this is your image right here. That's your image. So that's the URL that points to your image. So in this, I have to put that 100%. So let me go find that. Sorry, I gotta find the code for that. All right, this one is. Sorry, put me on the spot over here. Let's try it over. Let's see if that worked. Let's see if it works before I. Okay. So you see now how it changes when I make the screen smaller? So I'll show you what I did. I wanted to make sure it worked before I. Where is edit? So basically, it moved. Did you see how it even moved it for me? So outside, what I did is I put it here, and then I just typed in width equals 100%, and that's basically telling it that you need to that it's always going to take up 100% of the screen. And you can see that Canvas actually, or the coding actually moved it over here to the other side for me, because I guess I put it in the wrong place. It likes it there better. But you just don't want to put it in between any of the parentheses, or sorry, the quotation marks, because this is telling you where it's going. And it needs to be in between some of these brackets right here, because this is talking about the image. So you kind of have to play with it if we can find a specific one, but basically you want to put the width equals 100% in order to get that to work. Did that answer your question?
Hey,
Yes,
Trista,
thank you so much.
Trista, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I was playing with this with one of my courses that I was doing, and actually the 100%, it needs a semicolon at the end. I tried it with just the 100% and it wouldn't. When I was moving the whole thing over to the left, I was like, why is this not working for me? And I didn't put the semicolon after the percentage sign. So I think it needs the semicolon after the percentage sign.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think it depends on where you put it in that code too, if it's separating from something. Yes, you are right. And I just want to make sure you guys know that I am not an expert at this at all. I just am able to copy and paste and kind of mess around. I think the more that you use HTML, you can kind of see, it's like reading in another language, right? So if you're reading your favorite English book and then you have the same book in Spanish, you can kind of determine what Spanish words mean in English because you're looking at something you know. So it's kind of the same thing with HTML. The one thing I did want to show you is these. If you're building pages in Canvas, this is a way to build a table, right? So I can put content inside here, like I could have Monday, and then everything on Monday would go here, and then I could have Tuesday, and everything Tuesday would go here, and then, you know, Wednesday or whatever. This is the code here, but I can edit it.
Trista,
Yes.
could you show us how to do that? I see the codes are there.
Mhm.
Or would I just go there and just put those codes in and another tab would open?
Yeah, so what you would do, if you go into the course, right, you just copy this, this code here, and I'll do that, I'll show you. So I'm gonna copy it, and I'm gonna do a new page. Oops. Right, so it shows up here. Remember when we did the pill, when you're viewing it, after you saved it, it's gonna look different, because when I hit edit, it's gonna look different than this. So when I hit edit, these are the names of the tabs. So if I want my tabs to be Monday, Tuesday, just to kind of show that. No, I messed something up, sorry.
So would there be a way to put 5 tabs? So
Yes.
say if we wanted to do a whole week on one.
Absolutely. Sorry, let me, I messed up when I typed it, so I'm gonna do it again.
And the tables don't have to be HTML, right? They could also be like, I just inserted a table in mine. Like there's an option there to just insert table. Is that?
Oh, yes. Yeah, and so these aren't tables. So basically I could have a table. These are tabs. So when I edit it, I'll just show you, I could have different things on there. But yes, you can absolutely do a table. But so this is everything that's in tab 1. So this is Monday. And then this will be Tuesday. Just to kind of show you the difference. And I guess here you have to be careful that you leave that hyperlink that they have there.
Hey Trista, I'm just wondering, this sounds really good for elementary. That way they're not overwhelmed with the list of the modules and pages.
Mm-hmm.
Could you possibly like gray out or not allow them to move on in Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Like, can you paste them?
I don't think in this, because in order to paste them, you have to do prerequisites. So I don't believe that you can, unless you went through and you see how it had a link on there, you would have to hide, maybe deactivate that link, but that might be a lot of work.
Maybe able to unpublish and just publish the day that you want them to be published.
Well, not if you're using this tab system, because you publish the entire page. So if you're, so what she's saying is that if I have all my Monday stuff here, and then this is my Tuesday stuff, there's no way to limit the kids from getting to that. So it could be, this is your, these are your notes, this is your activity, and this is, you know, something else if you'd like to use that. This is just kind of a way to put more stuff on one page. And the question you had about having 5 tabs, I actually have, so I have 3, 4, and 5, the code for that, if you wanted to do the 5-tab one. I'm trying to think what else. Down here, these are links to style guides, depending on how specific that you want to get and how, you know, creative you're able to do. But sure. So I mean, I can answer more questions. We can walk through some stuff if you want, or you guys can play.
And you're using pages as your example, but this would work, right, if it was in any sort of a thing, right?
Yeah, anything that has a rich content editor. So if I do an assignment, so anything that has this, it can be used. And so you can use it in quizzes, you can use it in discussions, anything that has the ability to use this little guy right here. So yes.
Okay.
Because all you're doing this is always going to be the same. It just depends on how the kids are seeing it. If it's an assignment, you know, things that they're going to have to do, or if it's just content that you're giving them. So yeah.
I just want to clarify, sorry.
Yes.
So there would be one assignment for those 5 tabs.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Or could I do an assignment for each tab?
No, so this is just content. So it would be 5 things on that one tab. So to me, the tabs would be more of on a page and not an assignment, unless you wanted to, you know, like here's picture 1, here's picture 2, and you wanted to keep it not on top of each other. Does that make sense? Like if you don't want to scroll it down, but you want them to click and see each one and then do an assignment about it. You can get pretty creative, just depends on how you want to do that. So is anybody in there playing with it at all, or any questions that I can answer? I mean, I will stay here and answer whatever questions you guys have.
I have a question.
Yes.
So basically, when you get to the HTML, you have to, in order to import, you can't like create your own stuff in there. You have to either do it somewhere else and then import it into it, or you have to use those codes.
So
right?
HTML is a language. So Canvas,
whatever that rich content, that area. Yeah,
so you can type whatever, you can make this up if you know the language, basically. There are some things that, because Canvas is not a website, like there's some things that you can't do. I don't know if there's anybody in here that is like very expert on HTML that uses like CSS, and that's like another level. That doesn't work really well. It's like a style thing. But if you do a Google search for, like I want to do this using HTML, and you look it up and find the code, you can test it and see if it works inside of Canvas. So as long as it is in the code and you put it in this section, if it's able to be read by Canvas, it will work. Does that make sense? Yeah, because it's just a matter of learning the language and understanding it. Because any page you go to, no matter what it is, I'm going to go to I'll just kind of show you real quick. I mean, any page you go to, so here's my page, right? It's got all this stuff on it that you're able to look in the background and see what it looks like in HTML. Now that's a lot of stuff. So obviously you don't have to write all this stuff, and that's the advantage of using the rich content editor, is that you do what you want using their tools, and then they translate it for you into this. But if there's something specific that you want it to do, like making it responsive or adding like, you know, a pill box or the things that were in those modules, you have that ability. You just kind of have to play with it and figure out, you know, where it would fit inside that code by doing like a compare and contrast type thing.
And Trista, I mean, I emailed you the other day about the buttons that we were making, and that they, when you import, when you looked at the student view, they were not in the order or in the, like if there were 3 rows of 2 or 2 rows of 3, they were getting altered on the student view.
Yeah, so the way to solve that is you would have to make a table.
Well, yeah, or you can change it in the HTML, because there are, and I don't know if everyone knows this, but there are lots of Facebook posts out there. There's a whole Facebook group that I joined for Canvas for Teachers, and there's a lot of people that know a lot of answers. And so my daughter went on there and just asked someone how to do that, and they told them how to change it in the HTML. So she just went in and changed it to like 25% or something for each button. So I just want people to know there are Facebook groups and things that you can go join, and you just ask questions and people will pop the answers on there for you that already know what the answers are.
Yeah. Susan, do you have the link to that Facebook group if you want to share it?
I'll put it, I'll share it with you.
It's easy to search. It's just teaching Canvas.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of the groups out there, and there's also a lot of groups that are willing to share like
full built pages if you're really not into full HTML building.
And if you go to like Tech Like a Pirate or the other book that he wrote, there's all kinds of already produced free interactive documents and templates and graphic organizers. I downloaded like, I bet 50 of them last night.
Mm-hmm.
So they're already built for you, and you can alter them to, you know, like some are built more for English language arts, but I could alter them for something I want to do in science. So we just, those things are out there. I think it's, the group is Canvas for Teachers or something. I can tell you.
Teachers using Canvas. I typed it into the chat.
Okay.
Well, there's also Canvas for Teachers. That's the group that I'm a part of.
Yeah, I belong to Canvas for Teachers. And then there's also one, if you're wanting to do interactive notebooks, there's one that just talks to you about how to make interactive notebooks too. And if you go to that, I got an email from the Tech Like a Pirate, and there's a woman in there who makes stuff for teachers, and it's free.
Mm-hmm.
She has already built interactive notebooks that you can download and stuff. So with tabs and all that, and you just change it.
Well, and the great thing is that, like, my job is I just gather those things and help you guys. But you guys are the ones that are going to be using it with students, you know, so that's my limitation, is that I can show you how to do stuff, but I don't have that, that luxury of saying, oh, you know, I tried it and it didn't work because students didn't know how to, you know what I mean? So any kind of resource you guys can find that's another teacher is so invaluable. Because like I said, I didn't make any of this up. I just pulled it and found it and trying to share it with you guys. And the best thing you can do is help each other, and don't ever pay for content, because teachers will share their stuff for free.
Yeah.
Would there be a way for the district to create a resource page for each content where teachers could go and upload stuff, so we might be able to have something to share?
Well, I mean, there's so many things that we're working on right now. The problem with that is that there's so much out there that I think if we find something good, we might be able to curate that. So I know it's something that we're working on, but as far as like the design things, it's more about pointing you to the direction where you can find what works for you, just like Susan was talking about. Because some people want, you know, Bitmoji classrooms, and some people want, you know, stuff that's real clean. So just finding those resources out there and sharing them amongst your peers, I think, is maybe the best thing. The stuff we're going to put out there is more content driven than design driven, I think.
Can't we also get access to a lot of stuff just in the Commons?
Yes, the only problem with Commons is this. They have some good stuff there. I think you're going to find better stuff maybe outside of that.
Yes, ma'am.
They've just barely started.
For sure, yes.
People have just started putting good stuff in there now. I was surprised in Camp Canvas how many people were impressed with the Commons, because when I used it in the past, there wasn't a lot of good resources there. So it is getting better. So as long as you can vet those things, then yeah, the Commons is a great resource as well. Just people have to put their stuff out there. And I encourage you to put your stuff out there if you have things that you've created.
Trista, like I've already made a science interactive journal. Now I went to a Regional 11, and I have some documents in there that I would have to take out because not everyone went to those. But so if I went to Commons, can I just upload that one document?
Yeah. So like if let's just say I want to upload this page, pills. I think. Let me see. I could be lying here. Let me find it. I think it's in settings. Okay, so when you're in settings in your course, if I hit share to Commons, I think I can select what I want to share. So like I could send it to only Birdville if I wanted to. And let's see.
Yeah, you can select exactly what you want to share. Well, you can share a module, you can share the modules, you can share the course. Yeah.
I was trying to find it on here, but.
So So theoretically, if you made, like if I made a course that just said Susan Youngblood's, created documents or something for people for 7th grade science or something, I could just keep uploading things to that and it'd go to Commons for people that needed to see it.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Definitely, yeah. And the thing about Commons too is that if you put a course in there and somebody pulls it, if you update that course, they can get those updates as well. You have to be careful with that because I think it can override things, but like maybe it updates at the end of the year, they'll get all of your updates as long as it's the same course that you've shared, which is kind of cool. But no, I think Commons is a great thing. You just have to find stuff that works for you. Definitely.
Hey, Trista, Jody has her hand up. Jody, did you answer or ask your question?
Jody? Maybe not. All right. Well, this course kind of took a different direction, which is great. So is there anything else that I can show you guys? Because like I said, I've said this multiple times, but it's just more for you guys to go in and play and kind of mess around, and then, ask questions if you come across problems. And not necessarily right now, but, in the future, if you guys are having issues with things, I can certainly, try to help you troubleshoot.
When you found your deck of card image that moves, is there somewhere specific, a website that you're searching to find?
This is, I can talk about this if you guys want. It's completely not anything that we're talking about right now, but it's this website called Genially. So if you just go into a web browser and put that in, it is the most amazing free tool that you can make. If any of you took Camp Canvas, I used that to make the badges that made sounds and spun. So get in there and play with it. It's an awesome site.
It's Genie?
Yeah, G-E-N. It's like G-E-N-I-A-L dot.
I put it in chat.
I'm sorry?
I typed it in chat.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Trista, I had a question for you.
Yes.
Is there any way, and I don't think to use the HTML code to change anything in the navigation bar? I was trying and I don't see anywhere where I could change any of that.
Oh, here?
Yes, ma'am. To either change the color of it or add an emoji or something to it.
What you can do is, I did this in my last session, and
You're doing amazing.
I can just do it real quick. I don't know if you can add an emoji. You can't change anything that's over here, but you can add something.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, with the redirect tool?
With the redirect, yeah.
Okay, but I can't change the colors or anything like that with code?
No, because it's not built in. We don't have access to that.
The other language, right? The CSS that you were talking about, that's the one we can't get to?
Actually, I think this one is more, it's built into the Canvas structure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Of course. Let's see. I'll check out the chat. Let's see. All right. Anything else? What else you guys got? We got about 10 more minutes. I'm trying to think if there's something else I could show you.
Trista?
Yes.
I was curious, when we are embedding Google folders, and notice that we're embedding the URLs, does that mean, is there something that restricts embedding URLs to Google, or can you embed other URLs using the same language?
That is a great question. So I think this one, let's see, I gotta look at the code to see. It looks, just from looking at the code, is, it's building an iframe, which is that the box that it's in, and then it's giving a border. So you could grab another website and put it in there and see what happens, because an iframe is basically, we talk about it here. it's basically building something inside of here. Sorry, so I have it, I don't know if iframe's in here. Yeah, so custom borders for iframes, so you can like change the border. So I really think you could put anything there, any website that would work. But I would maybe just test it and see. So like this one, you've embedded something and it's got the iframe around it.
So can they, you know, this is Jessica with cosmetology, and we need to keep our students inside of our course as much as possible.
Yep.
So that it's the easiest way to make sure they get their hours for our program. So
Okay.
if they're working inside of this, can they stay inside this box, or once they click it, will it take them to a separate link?
I think that it will take them to a separate link because it's going to Canvas or to Google, but you can embed something, like you can embed a Google slide or something, and it will stay inside, but you have to do it individually.
I know we can embed, you know, slides and YouTubes and stuff like that. I'm just always looking for more content that we can embed without taking them to a new page.
Yeah, and we might, I mean, if we can meet and kind of figure out workarounds for that. I just can't think of any off the top of my head.
That's okay. Thank you.
Yeah,
Trista,
I'm
I have
sure
a
we can
question.
figure something out.
This may not be anything with what we're talking about, but like if I were to embed my interactive notebook or put a button on my, you know, homepage for them to get linked to that interactive notebook, I'm making it in Google Slides.
Correct.
When I change it in my Google Slides in my Drive, it's not going to automatically change it on those kids' interactive notebooks. That's what I've been hearing.
If it's a copy that they're getting, then no, because once anybody makes a copy of something, you've basically made a photocopy.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So someone talked about there's an add-on app called Slip and Slide that you could use. It's got kind of, you know, shady. I mean, it works for some. It'll add it to some kids, it won't to others. So if I didn't want to go that route, so would I just make a slide, give them that, and then tell them to add it to their interactive notebook? Copy it?
Yeah, I had actually
gone until 2 p.m.
Yeah, I had actually talked to another teacher the other day about that if they were doing something continuous,
right,
you know, they could each have their copy, and then you could just push out copies to them of those other slides, and they can literally, it's copy and paste into their interactive notebook.
Okay.
And then they would have it. Yeah.
Yeah, because we're talking about we're going to use the interactive notebook primarily for like what they do in daily and what our daily grades would be, and then use quizzes and other things. But so that's kind of where I wanted to keep all their work. So that would be work. Okay, great. Thanks.
That's the best thing. All right, we got 5 minutes left. Any burning questions or comments or random thoughts?
Trista, I have a question.
Yes.
Is it possible to add this course to our dashboard?
Right now, what I'm going to do is all the Canvas chaos that has been happening, the auto enroll wasn't working, so I made it public. So if you would like, just for right now, I don't think the auto enroll is not open. So what I'm going to do is inside the CanvasPalooza course, I will put the enroll code so you can actually enroll in it and have it on your dashboard. But that probably won't happen till maybe tomorrow, because I have to make sure that part is working. So right now it's public, so there's no login process, but it also won't save. But I'll change that, and it'll be in the CanvasPalooza course.
How long will the CanvasPalooza course be open?
It'll be open all year.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so we'll add the recordings and then all of the content in there. So there'll be a link to this also in there that you can get to no matter what. But yeah.
Will this year will the students be set up in any kind of any extra ways? Like, you know, previously we had to teach them how to do profile pictures, linking their Google accounts, things like that. And I'm wondering if I should still start the program with those, or if any of that is going to be done, you know, if there's going to be instructions that y'all put out that we'll use for that, or if I should make my own.
They're working on stuff for parents and students. I don't know exactly, I'm not doing that, so I'm not sure exactly what it is. I know one thing that we are going to be encouraging all teachers to do when we have our training is to create a walkthrough of your own personal course, like a screencast, so that the kids know how to interact with your course, because everyone's courses are going to be different as far as, you know, navigation. Like some of y'all are going to be using cool HTML stuff, and other people are going to be very basic, which is fine, but the kids still need to know how to interact. So you could add stuff like that to the beginning if you wanted, just a quick, like, hey, do this. But I don't know exactly what's going to be in the course we're going to provide. There is that Passport to Canvas course for students. That could be an option, but I don't know how that might be a campus decision, if like the campus wants to have all students go through that. So.
Got it. Okay.
Trista, I played around a little bit with OneNote.
Okay.
Could that be used for an interactive notebook?
Absolutely, yes.
I
I am not an expert on OneNote. It is something that you can actually use. You can use Microsoft Office 365 in Canvas, the way that you use Google. So yes, if you want to either, who's your DLS?
You are.
Oh, I am sorry, I can't see who's talking.
That's all right. There's 150 of us here.
Yeah, shoot me an email, because if I can't answer that question, we have at least 2 people in our team that's really good at OneNote, and that's actually a great option.
Okay, thank you.
I didn't think about it because I don't usually go Microsoft, but it would be a great option as well. All right, guys, well, it is 10:44, so we're going to go ahead and have to end this session. But I really appreciate you guys coming, and if you have any questions, you know, please shoot me an email or talk to your DLS about anything. And I'm really glad you guys were able to come, and I hope it was useful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You guys have a great day and enjoy your next session.
Thanks, Trista. Appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. Have a great day.
You too.
You should just be able to click on it. It should be fine.